It's Killer Hope, live from Sundance 2011. I'm Ted Hope.
And I'm Christine Vachon, and we are here with Wesley Chan, Philip Wang, and Ryan Higa.
The filmmakers of Agents of Secret Stuff.
We're Wong Productions, and we actually have one more member, Ted Fu. He couldn't make it.
Hi, guys.
Hi, thank you so much for having us.
Our pleasure.
Thanks for coming on.
So this is your first Sundance. What's it been like? What are you doing?
It's been quite the experience so far. It's been very cold.
Yeah, definitely not used to that. First time in Utah, for one thing.
Yeah.
But
We just got in last night, so this is our first day to experience it. And so far, just the energy is really great. And you know, Sundance is the festival, so it's really exciting just to say that we can be here.
Yeah. For so long, we've just heard of it, and now we can actually.
But you
see
guys
it.
define independence now. And, you know, it's so funny, like what got it all started. You know, back 20 years ago when Christine and I first came here, it was part of it was that unwillingness to say, you know, I'm going to sit and wait to be discovered.
Right.
But like, damn it, I'm going to do it. Let's just get it done. And that's what you guys have done, and done it like bigger than anyone could imagine.
So tell us about your movie and what made you want to make it.
basically, we met through another project called Fun Employed. But we wanted to show people, like everywhere, that YouTube is not just a bunch of videos with just like cats and, like funny things happening. We wanted to show that we're actually putting out serious stuff now. And I believe it's like one of the first videos that's like 35 minutes long on YouTube. And it actually did pretty well. It's like at 8 million views right now.
Is that all?
Oh, well, it's not that much. But.
But frankly, it's bigger than what basically any film here is
Well,
going to get.
that's the whole thing. It's like this is, I know it's great to be here and it's wonderful to have your film show here, but how many movies here will ever be seen by 8 million
See,
people?
that's the funny thing about, because YouTube still has this kind of negative connotation around it. That's like, oh, like those are not the real serious people. But I mean, the fact is, technology really is leveling the playing field right now. You can go grab a DSLR, which is even better than some of the film cameras out there.
It's such a beautiful tool.
Exactly,
It's
and
fantastic.
you upload it, and if you have huge fan bases, like Ryan here does or we do, you can have it be seen by millions of people in a night.
Right.
And you get feedback right away, and you can even start monetizing off of it right away. And it really is, I think that analogy of what Sundance used to or started off as, that's really how it is right now.
And the way you guys met is also kind of interesting, I think, right? That, when I didn't know who Christine Vachon was when I first came to Sundance, and we've been able to collaborate on a bunch of stuff kind of through the community that brought us together.
Exactly, the community.
YouTube is, I mean, it's great technology to share videos and showcase talent, but on top of that, it's a really great community. And between us and Ryan, we have a lot of the same friends that we met through the YouTube community, and we help each other out, we collaborate, and that's really how Agents of Secret Stuff kind of came to be.
Yeah. I would say pretty much the only way you're really gonna get exposure on YouTube starting off new is by collaborating with other people. So you definitely can't be one of those people who is just like, I'm gonna do it on my own and do everything by myself.
Right.
Like I couldn't have done that without them because I don't know how to film, and I don't know like the right shots. But it was just you just have to keep all your options open. Like you have to meet everyone.
So how did you all come together?
Yeah, it was a web series that we were making with another friend, Kevin, and he's also very well known on YouTube as well, Kev Jumba. Through that project, we knew that Ryan was, he's the #1 most subscribed thing on YouTube. Like 3 million subscribers. He makes something, 3 million people right away will see it. We also have 500,000, and people kind of know our work. And he saw that we make high quality stuff on YouTube, which is rare, to say the least, on YouTube. So I think he saw that this was a good team to work with and a good collaboration to show, hey, we can do something that's more than just the cat videos.
Right.
With no budget.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
with no
right.
budget.
Right.
But what's incredible, I think that most filmmakers here, most actors, Hollywood stars, would kill to be able to say they have half a million followers, let alone your numbers.
Is that?
But I think that there's still that kind of snob attitude, frankly, about online cinema. Like, do you, from your perspective, do you feel like, man, this is fantastic, it's as good as it gets? Or do you say like, but I won't really be happy until I have my film premiere at the Eccles in front of 1,000 people. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, what? Who cares about 1,000 people at the Eccles when you have 500,000 people, you know, on the low side, waiting for what you're going to do next?
That's a really interesting question because I feel like we, you know, as the filmmaker side of it, we're always thinking about that too. I mean, Sundance, for example, has always been like, you know, the trophy to, you know,
Right.
try and attain.
You've already got it.
But have you?
But that's the
but
pr- you
but
know,
let
it's
me
the-
ask you: you
yeah.
guys submitted your films to Sundance?
We did actually.
Yes, we did.
We tried to submit a short to the program, but didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting anything, but I mean to be here is just as good. But going back
Next
to
time, send it to Christine and I, and we'll submit it for you.
really okay.
It's all, you know, it's all
I'm
paid
gonna
off.
hold you to that. But going back to your question, I think it is really interesting that it is like two worlds. You know, traditional Hollywood or filmmaking versus new media and YouTube. And I think what we're trying to do is bridge a gap. And with Agents of Secret Stuff, that was one of the main goals, is like to show the traditional audience or traditional filmmaking that, you know, new media is capable of becoming a bigger thing. And pretty soon, new media will become, you know, just media. It'll be regular.
Well,
I think
that's it.
I think it already has, and like it's ingrained in my son's consciousness. I was saying, you know, he started making videos, and he's learned from you guys. You know, that's where his language comes from. He's so inspired by what you're doing, and then, like, and it's his world in a way that for me was, you know, would have been, you know, punk rock or whatever, you know, came along when I was.
But that doesn't, yeah, I mean, but we still recognize that there's still a lot to learn. And even though, you know, the film festival route or the film school route is one way, we don't look at YouTube being the better way or whatever. We know that there's good and bad to kind of both sides. And that's something that we make sure that we keep an open mind to, just because, you know, I mean, YouTube is just, everyone's still learning, or new media, everyone's still learning. So we kind of want to make sure that we're not closing off our minds to, you know, other influences.
But you guys were driven to make movies because you weren't seeing the kind of movies that you wanted to make out there, right? I mean, that's what drove us. I mean, ultimately, that's how new voices emerge, because you see a lack, you see that there's, you know, there's a gap that nobody's addressing.
The system hasn't supplied it for that audience, which is hungry. You know.
Exactly.
Right.
That's actually another side of the thing is, like, a lot of our support is actually from the Asian American community too.
I bet.
I think that's a big reason why there's a lot of support from them, because they don't get to see a lot of accurate representation of themselves in mainstream media.
I wouldn't have a career if it hadn't been the existing, you know, power structures, neglect of the Asian community. You know, that I was fortunate enough to meet Ang Lee at a certain time, that when we made his films, it was like we had immediate access that was really a hungry audience that needed it. And the fact that it's still going on and keep going, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan and Wong Fu Productions, we both started like very humble beginnings, and one reason was we weren't seeing what we wanted to see, and also we didn't want to be held back by all the boundaries that, you know, people were telling us. Like, if you want to make a movie, you need to have this budget, you need to have these resources.
Right.
We're like, well, why don't we just try our best to do it the best that we can, and people like it, they like it. If not, we had fun with it, and we're happy with our end product.
What was there something that was an initial inspiration for you that gave you the confidence to believe that you could go out and do it?
I'd say it's just knowing that people will watch it. It's just like,
Affirmation.
yeah. It's like, for one thing, you don't want to put all that time into it if you're not sure if it's going to be successful. I'm not saying I thought it was going to be,
that's
but
like, I mean,
There's a risk involved.
that's pretty much all the filmmakers here.
yeah.
But Christine has a phrase, you know, like you said before, you know, we're not making, you know, celluloid trophies, you know, just sit up on a shelf
Right.
and for no one to see.
Right.
It's all about the dialogue you have with an audience.